man-to-man session, supporting kings to embrace their masculinity and amplify their influence. Welcome to M2M Session Podcast. Stay with me, let us do this.
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to another amazing episode on the M2M Session Podcast. So today we are continuing with our relationship and personal development series on how I met my wife. And today we have two amazing guest speakers with us. We have with us Mr. Edison Emeka and Dr. SE02Ep23 Jr. So before we get right into it, a couple of days back I was just sharing with some group of guys, and I feel I should also share with you here. One reason why we are doing this is, you see, the leaders in government institutions, the managers in corporate organizations, their results, their behavior, their character, their moral composition, as well as the men who are dysfunctional in the society, as well as the homeless men, as well as the armed robbers, as well as the young men out there who are taking advantage, who are raping young girls. The common thing that every single one of them has is that they all came from a family. Yes, they all came from a home. There would have been no way possible for them to have been birthed into this world without the coming together of their mother and their father. So you see, the question lies in my heart is, how did they all turn out the way that they did? How did they all turn out the way that they did? Because you see, the truth is, every man has a responsibility to play in his home as a father. And he also has a responsibility to play as a husband. As a father, he plays the role of grooming and raising his kids. But one of the things that we fail to understand and we don't usually see is that as a husband, he has a dual responsibility. Yes, he has a dual responsibility as a husband because, number one, he has a responsibility as a husband to his wife. And number two, he has a responsibility as a husband to model marriage, to model what it means to be a husband to his children. Because learning, they say, love, charity, everything experiences, they say, it all begins at home. So what we see our fathers do, the way we see our fathers react as husbands to their wife, as men, is what we would definitely replay. So trust me, if your dad was coming back home late as a husband, if your dad was a cheating husband, if your dad was a maltreating husband, if your dad was an absentee husband, I'm not saying that that's what you turn out to be, but trust me, there is a 69% possibility that that is what you would eventually turn out to be, because you see, dad is destiny. Dad is destiny. So this podcast series is to bridge a gap and to create a new learning experience and to provide an advantage for every single one of us as young men in the future to come. Okay, guys, so we are going to take our first speaker for today. That's Mr. Edison Emeka. Welcome, sir. We are glad to have you. Okay, sir. So the first question to you is, tell us how you met your wife and how you knew she was the one.
Okay, thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for the privilege to share. All right, I'll just go straight into it. How did I meet my wife, and how did I know that she was the one? Okay, well, I met her in 2012. We had a conference, a teens meeting. That was actually where I saw her for the first time. I think what happened was, I was praying for some teenagers, and my sister, who happens to be, she's also in the team, So she brought her to me and she asked me to pray for her. So I actually prayed for her. I just prayed for her, and then I left. And so we actually called for people who we called for people to join the workforce, and those who would love to join, we asked them to come for one meeting. Okay, so it was in that place. Okay, well, she didn't know the road to the place, so I was asked to go and pick her up from from some place, where she stopped, and then I brought her in for the meeting, and afterwards I offered to see her off. I mean then Shaya, she came in. I think the program they came for, there were like 3 of them that came, 3 friends. I kind of liked one of her friends more. From what I saw, you get so well, I saw her off, and I think we exchanged a contact to go from the days of to go. I think I gave her my username, and then she added me up. That's how we began to chat. We were just friends, right? Yeah. I got to chat with her sometimes. There are those times I didn't, because, well, I had people like, friends, and there were these sisters, who always want to, seek a counsel, so I wasn't really at that point of my life. I didn't give much thought, right, to that. The feelings things, from time to time. You just see this girl, and then she's just what you picture. She's beautiful, smart, God-fearing, full of fire, a Holy Ghost. I'm like, damn, jeez. Yeah, but there were so many of them, so I didn't want to start off, on that part, because I was going to miss it. So, well, I tried as much as I could to stay focused, So we grew, we became friends, she came around, we used to meet, I know, so, and then she joined, the teens ministry, and we began to work together. Yeah. So how I got to know that she was the one, well, I think it was with time, it built up in my spirit. Yeah. One way, right, that I believe that God speaks to me, right. There's usually this there is this nudging, right, that just stays, like it stays, like it stays. So, well, just like I said, I liked her friend more. I mean, I became really close to her friend. I mean, she met my mom. We were already like close, like, you know. So, but I didn't really see her in the picture, right, until when this thing, when, you know, the nudging, it just began to come. But I did not see why, really, because I wasn't really looking, you know, I wasn't ready. Okay, but then I believe that God. Okay, I believe that, you know, that God. Okay, I believe that God showed me that, right, so that I can, you know, I can keep, you know, a single eye, you know. So I just tried to stay, you know, focused. Well, she didn't know, right, but I just knew, right. Yeah, I just knew. So, but I needed it to, you know, to get to the time. So, you know, we grew, we became friends, we got close at some point, and then we became best friends. And we were still friends. Okay, we get to, you know, share stuff, and we had time to pray. You know, we strengthened ourselves, you know, too. And yeah, until I got to ask her one day, right, I'm like, do you think that, you know, that, I mean, we may likely, you know, she just laughed, and she was like, well, that she actually heard that too, right, when she was praying. Okay, but there were some things, you know, that needed to be put in place. Well, her dad, okay, she's the last, right, she's the last of six. Is it 6 or 7? I think it's 6. Yeah, 6. Okay, so and she's the last now. Okay, so let me pause this here.
Very, very important. Friendship. Thank you very much, sir. So over to the second question. How did your parents and her parents react when you told them you wanted to get married? And how did you handle it?
Okay, well, I mean, well, I'd like to say, although I'm just speaking from my point of view, yeah, I feel like pressure, right, is really more on the guy, you know, from his parents' side than the lady side. I'm just saying, right, that's how I felt, you know, during that time. Okay, so when I told my parents I wanted to get married, I mean, coming from, you know, a home, a middle class home, yeah, you know, and I'm the first son, the first child, yeah. So, and I'm yet, you know, I'm yet to build, you know, and to stack up, you know, the money, you know, and the businesses, you know, that I plan, I dream of, you know. And where I'm from, right? I mean, we like to put money, wealth, first before you begin to think of wife and children and all. Yeah, it's actually true. Yeah, and I won't say I've actually reached there. So it was difficult somehow, to tell my parents about it, but I knew it was time. I just knew it. It was time. In fact, the truth is that a couple of months before I began to make those plans, I had lost major amounts of money. Like, it was in a row, right? It was mad. Like, I was depressed. It was crazy. Like, majority of my life was actually hinged. Majority of my next steps were hinged on that. But somehow I knew it was time. So I just told my parents about it, right? At first they were like, and them right now, like now that they don't have all it takes right now. Their first son is getting married. He's also the first child of the family, the first getting married from the family. It's a big deal. It has to be this, has to be that. I just let them see. And the person is getting married there. You should not worry my worry for me. And I'm also going to plan my wedding the way I would want it to be. I don't have time to impress anybody. And then they now began to tell me that their family will come, their extended family, extended family, all those things, community people, union people. I told them I beg. Well, it was more like the same thing, from her side, right? Because we had told our parents that we wanted to have a closed wedding, exclusive wedding. They're like, no, is it money? Like, it's not money, right? Yeah, the part of saving cost, but that's the plan. That's what we'd love to have. So anyways, there was the struggle at first, but then the later were like, okay, no wahala. Everybody just came to join forces with us. And there was also the part, there was also the part my parents wanted to be sure. Are you sure you want to do this? Are you under pressure? I'm like, what type of nonsense pressure? I'm not under any pressure. I'm a man. I want to take this step. I believe it is time, and the person I want to take a step with, she agrees with me. So I want every other person to just say yes, and let's face forward and do what we have to do. So yeah, he was actually cool. And then during those periods, right, my parents wanted to get on my nerves. So, but then I also tried to be careful. There were even times when I called, my wife, I'll be crying. I'll be like, to what my parents did, and she should be complaining of the same thing. So, but we had to be strong, right? We had to be prayerful, right, and sensitive too, during that period, because during that period, the devil want to use anybody available, somebody you will not even imagine, that kind of thing can come from. So, but yeah, we just had to be stronger, and we had to bring in wisdom, at different points, in time. Yeah, so that's for that. I believe I've been able to do justice to that question, though. All right, thank you.
Whoa. I think I've taken the key of what I'm certainly going to do. Wow, I've taken the key of what I should also do and what I'm certainly going to do when I'm eventually going to get married, and probably if I'm faced with this, because trust me, I for one have been thinking, wow, how am I going to react? How am I going to respond to my parents when it's time? Okay, wow. Well, you heard it, guys. Be bold. Talk to your parents. Please be bold and let them know exactly what you want to do. Okay, next question. A lot of guys believe that men are polygamous in nature. So, because of that, they should explore their single and youthful age until they are satisfied and ready to settle down in the far future. So, Mr. Emeka, what do you have to say about this? And why did you choose to get married at a young age?
Okay. Okay, this question, right? Okay, well, it's actually funny, right? That people think this way, right? But the sad part is that it's actually true. Okay, that people think this. Well, I don't believe that men are polygamous, right? In nature, I just believe that. I just believe that men, right? That men need to do better. Yeah. It all starts from choice, right? If you make up your mind to be responsible, right? You're going to be responsible. It all starts from what you decide to do as the man. It depends on what you choose as the man. So I mean, see, the truth is, right, is that lust, right? Marriage doesn't cure lust, right? Those who choose to stay and explore and get married at 40, they will still cheat. I mean, because it has become, their choice, their way of life. Okay, so I don't really think is the nature thing, right? I think it's the mind thing, and it is choice too. Okay, so I mean, you can choose to do what you want to do, and let me chip in, right, to say that this generation, right, we really need we need men, right? We need good men, right, to change the course of things. Okay, yeah, really. So why did I choose to marry at a young age? Well, okay, at first let me start by saying it depends on what you call a young age, though. Okay, because for me, right, I don't think that I got married, right, young. The plan, the dream, right, from when I was 17, thereabout. I already told myself that at 25, I was going to get married, and really, I trust God, right? I trust God that if Jesus tarries, okay, one of the gifts I would love to give my children is to make sure I buy time for them, right? I'll make sure. I mean, at 25, everybody should be, like, if you found a woman you love, and then you're certain it's God, you found a man, go ahead and marry. You have my support. You have whatever it is you need, So, I got married at 29. Yeah. So, that's like 4 years behind the time I said that I was going to get married. And really, it's not a thing of it's not as though I mean, a kind of a competition, with somebody, anybody. No, it is just the picture, the plans that I have had, for long, and is with time I just get to see that, okay, that 18, that it's in it's with time, I got to know that okay, it's also God's plan too for me. So I would encourage, right, if you have gotten to the age, right, where you know that it is time, why sit down and be playing rough? No, I mean, just go ahead and take this step. Well, if you're certain that God is leading you, right, because that for me is key, right? um uh, 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 from my day one, right, it has been God, and it will always be God. Really, I won't take this step if I don't hear God say so, right? Because there are so many times in my life I've taken steps that God did not send me. I've seen how much I suffered, to pay daily for making those wrong decisions. So I've actually come to that point in my life where it is just God. So many people would have so many things to say, right? So many voices, but then whatever God says is what I'll choose to stand upon. So feel once you're certain it is time, you know within yourself it is time, the woman, the man, and you're certain that God is leading in that direction. Just take this step. Well, you may not have it all, in place and figured out, but you realize that each step you take, things just fall in place. Things just fall in place. But there are also some things that you need to have in place. There are also some things, right, that are pointers, that the man is ready, to take in a woman, as your wife. So I think that's it for that.
Wow, you've said it, like you just said it. You see, men are not polygamous in nature. It's just like, I totally agree with you. It's a belief system, and for me, I personally believe that any man that says he is polygamous in nature, or that says men are polygamous in nature, so because of that they should go around sleeping with young girls, it's actually an excuse for irresponsibility and a clear sign of lack of self-control. I wasn't created to be polygamous in nature. I don't know about you. I think in the nearest episode we would actually have an episode on this, the polygamous nature of men, to actually see where this ideology started from. Because trust you, I know the first polygamous man. And it's sad to think that some people who consider themselves as Christians, as believers, also go with this ideology. You see, the truth is, as a young man, whether an old man or whatever, if you don't learn how to control your sexual urges, no matter any territory, no matter any business organization, no matter any sector, no matter any achievement you may have, no matter any sector you may conquer, you may achieve, no matter any accolades, no matter any recognition, any award, no matter any feats you may achieve in life, there is bound to be one thing that can ruin your empire. There's bound to be one thing that can ruin your empire. So if you learn how to take control of everything outside and you don't learn how to take control of yourself, you would lose it all. You would definitely lose it all. Okay, next question, sir. Next question. So, what were the things you had to put in place as a man before getting married?
Okay. What are the things that I had to put in place before I got married? Okay. I'm gonna start by there's a book, right? There's a book by my pastor, right? 20 things to do before you are 30, right? I think he wasn't I think it was in 2012, that someone shared the tape with me. I listened to that message. That message changed my life. So I would start with that, right? Um, 20 things to do before you are 30, right? I think that's one of the things that really shaped me. So you can check it out on his a website, or you can reach me, right, to get the tape. All right. That message, right, it did me good, yeah. And two, there is more, okay, to that, right. I think the first thing, right, is a vision, right. I mean, as a man, right, before you begin to think of, to bring in a someone else, right, you should have a vision. Your eyes should be seeing, your ears should be hearing, because a blind man cannot lead another blind man, and you can't call yourself the man who is the leader of the home, and I mean, you go and carry somebody, a woman who has a vision for her life, while you don't have. It's basically being you. I mean, you're not being fair, to her. I know. So I think the first thing, you just start off with a vision, have a plan, for your life, that at the direction, that God is leading you in. Okay, so have I think it is necessary, yeah, to have a sources, right? Have a source of income, like stable sources of income, yeah. That in place. You should have a house, a comfortable house, right? I mean, you as a guy, as a young guy, a bachelor, you can make do, right, with anything. But women, their nature, they like to become comfortable. So you have to think about that too, you know. Yeah, you have that in place. So you should have a comfortable, house, home, where you guys could actually build from. Having a home is very important. Having a comfortable house, because that's what the woman will transform into a home, and that's where you would always love to come back to. You always love to run back to. So I think, yeah, that's basically that, and you build from there, and have faith, man. You're going to be needing faith in marriage. Faith, ha. Before you get married, have faith. Have faith while in marriage. While getting married, have faith. While getting married, after getting married, have faith. You will need faith, a lot. Yeah, because don't worry, just have faith. Yeah, just have faith. Yeah, I mean, read books. Read books. Oh, one of the things, right, that I call, like, sorry, one of the things, right, that I consider, a okay. So read books here, buy tapes, right, on relationship, marriage, just try to prepare yourself, okay, because that has done us, good, really, because the times, and during those years we spent, we we actually see, fruits now, from those seeds, those seeds of time, we give, to a growth, times when we pick books, we share amongst ourselves, we set up a plan, we read, we discuss, we listen to the same tips, we grow. It just has a way of putting, you two on same, a frequency, and then you guys, you just connect with ease, all right, and then you grow. So read books, yeah, read books, but buy tips, right? Yeah, listen to people who are succeeding, right? When you look at their marriage, look at their relationship, you know that it's working. I'm not talking about our celebrity, Instagram celebrities and TikTok celebrities. I'm talking about real people, real time people. You look at their lives, their marriages, it is working, and it's something you desire. Try to find out from them, learn from them. How do they do these things? These things, it's just simple. I mean, they are principles, right, that just make some things work, right? So many people, they struggle in marriage because they don't just get they don't give room, right, to do these things. Someone said that what's that quote? I can't remember who said it. Someone said that he's only a fool, right, that does a particular thing in a particular way over and over, and is expecting a different, a result. Okay, so just, build a capacity. Right? Your capacity as a single person is not enough. Right? Build a marriage a capacity too, and you don't have to do it only when you get married. You can begin from, before you get married. Just prepare yourself for these things, man. Because marriage life is a serious life. It is a serious life. It is a serious life. I mean, it is real. It is not a dream. It is not a script, a movie script you're acting. It is real life. The same way you experience your singlehood, the same thing in marriage. So, but this time around, you're gonna have someone else. So you're not thinking for yourself. You're thinking for two. You're living for two. You're breathing for two. You're smiling for two. You're talking for two. Right? You're spending for two. You're calculating for two. So it's a big deal, and it is important. I believe very firmly and strongly that it's important that we take time to prepare ourselves for marriage. While we prepare financially, and every other thing, let's also build our minds, our capacity, right? Develop ourselves to become the kind of husband that our wives will be proud of, our children will be the kind of father our children will be proud of, and the kind of sons that our Father in heaven and our earthly parents, spiritual parents, biological parents will be proud of. We are in need of those kinds of marriages. In this generation, we are in need of a lot of those marriages, because sincerely, I can't, talk about, the decay, in places today, in homes. I know the devil is fighting hard, to destroy homes, and the men are usually people that fall prey the most. That's why men of my generation, they need to sit up. I just don't know how else to come. So sometimes I just feel like I just see some men being foolish. I'm like, why can't you just have? It really pains me, really. I mean, I just think on it. I'm like, men of my generation, we shall need to do better. This thing of, your life is all about cruise, and memes, and and drink, smoke, party. and inshallah and stuff. It's just crazy. It's crazy. We need men, real men, solid men, to step up in this generation and time. Sorry, I'm preaching too much, but it's just one of those things that get to me whenever I have opportunity to share. Yeah, so that's it for that. Thank you.
Wow, yeah. 20 things to do before you are 30 by Pastor Akomoye Oga. I remember I read that book when I was actually, I think when I was 20 or 19, about 6-7 years ago. Yeah, that book is really rich. In fact, where I am right now in my life, that book is really, really instrumental. So please, just in case you would like to get a copy of that book, you can reach out. You can send me an email. I'll just call out my email right now. You can take it down. anaiang01@gmail.com. That's spelled ANAIYANG01. That's number 0 and 1 at gmail.com. So that's it. Vision. Have a vision for your life. Have a vision for your life. So finally, Mr. Emeka, before we let you go, do you have any last words for the young men listening out there?
Okay, my last words, right? Well, I think I've already said some part of it, right? In this last question, right? I just answered, and I just have to, say, men, our young men in this generation, we need to sit up, man. We need to sit up. The decay, it has gone on for so long. It's time for us to sit up. It's time for us to do more. Let's become better brothers, right? Let's become better fathers. Let's become better husbands. All right. There is room for more. Okay, there is room for more. The media, and society, have made us, believe that we can't be more than just sex freaks, who are led by, by skirts, So I'm just gonna say that we have to do more. We have to do more, and there is room for more. We just have to sit up, okay, and do the right thing. We have it in us to do the right thing, right? And let us just do the right thing. For those of us who have gotten to the age, I mean, you know that you're ready, but somehow you're scared, to take this step. I know. I pray that that you find grace, and strength, the courage you need, the wisdom, that you need, to navigate through, this phase. I trust God for you, right? And for those who think that they're not yet there, all right, I just want to say that I just want to say that it is honorable, right, to keep yourself, right, to stay pure. A Bible says that by means of a whore, right, a young man is reduced to a a loaf of bread. Just think on it. Just think on it. Just think on it. It's important that you keep yourself right. It's important that you keep yourself, you stay pure, and focused while you prepare, to find that special one that God will bless you with, and you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. Thank you so much, sir. I'm Anna, and thank you for the a privilege, okay, the privilege of this time. Yeah, I was kind of tensed because I just pictured me, in a room with so many people, sitting on the panel, and I'm being asked this question. So I get to freak out sometimes. I was, but I'm glad that I was able to say a thing or two, and I hope it blesses those that will listen. All right, signing out. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Okay, guys, we are going to go on a short break right now, and then when we are back, we are going to have Dr. 02Ep23 on here with us.